Is Brent Primus. If you have a question for him, please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Brent Primus. We'll begin with a few questions right here in the room. So Brent, you are obviously taking on Benson Henderson on his hometown. Can you kind of take us through what it feels like to play the role of spoiler on fight night?
Yeah, man, I like to be the underdog, and I don't really mind boos. It's gonna be cool to go out there and make an upset and beat him in his hometown, man. I'm ready.
And can you tell us what you think about the Patricky-Queally fight being elevated to a potential fight, title fight?
Yeah, that's a complete joke. I cannot believe it. Queally has fought in like twice in three and a half years. Patricky's coming off 2 losses. I think it's a joke. I'll smash those dudes, and that's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna go out there and make a statement with Benson, and I'm gonna call out whoever wins that fight. If Patricky or if Queally doesn't get injured, that guy backs out of a lot of fights. I was supposed to fight him. He backed out like 3 weeks before the fight. So yeah, man, it's a complete joke for sure, and I'm gonna smash whoever wins that fight.
And you're coming off of a tough loss, split decision. Does that change your mentality at all coming into this one?
Yeah, 100%. I told a couple of other people, like, I remember Islam was on top of me, just holding me, defending all my submissions, and I heard the crowd booing, and it got to me, man. It killed me inside, and I can't stop thinking about it. And I told myself, man, I was like, I don't really care if I win or lose. Maybe I just want to go out there and just throw down and have an exciting fight, and have an exciting fight. But at the same time, man, I'm going to go out there and smash Benson. I'm going to win, and I'm going to make this an exciting fight for sure. Throw my hands. It's going to be a fight of the night.
And, this is the first time Bellator's been in Phoenix in quite some time. Can you kind of, have you had a chance to walk around downtown? What's the energy like? Are people excited to have, big fights back in Arizona?
Yeah, I haven't really walked around too much just because of the COVID thing and trying to stay safe. But I went to the grocery store, and there's like 3 people that work there that came up to me and said they're going to come to the fights, and they're really excited about it. And you can feel the energy, especially in the hotel room, man. There's a lot of people here at the hotel, and yeah, man, it's great. After the fight, I'll stay in Phoenix for a couple days and party and eat as much food as I can, and I'm excited.
And now we'll open it up to the media joining us virtually today. Dylan, go ahead.
Hey there, Brent. I appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, no problem.
I was just curious because I know at least in the summer you were getting in that American top team Portland work with like Ricky Simone, Fabiano Scherner, obviously. Like, who have you been working with this particular camp? Same kind of cast of characters, as it were.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they brought in some good wrestlers to, help me with my takedown defense and wrestling, and Ricky Simone just got a fight, and me and him been getting some good rounds in. He's a little bit smaller than me, but he's fast, kind of like Benson, and really athletic, good wrestling. So, me and Ricky Simone, John Simone, and Sarek. There's a bunch of big, college wrestlers I've been wrestling with, and my camp went great. My weight's great. I feel strong, fast, confident. I'm ready to go out there and make a statement and smash him.
And just like a quick follow up, kind of talking about the last fight there, because I think like a lot of people were kind of looking at that fight through the lens of like, you probably should have got the nod because you were trying to finish, and it seemed like you were going for the submission attempts more so. Like, what do you think can be done to, I guess, subvert different instances like that? Like, should there be, I guess, a continued learning curve for members of different athletic commissions so as to, I guess, have that broader understanding of what actually wins fights? Or do you have any thoughts on that at all?
Yeah, like that Islam fight, I rewatched it, and the guy literally was just defending the whole time. He had some good takedowns, but other than that, he did not do one thing with him. He didn't punch me. I didn't have a scratch on me. He was defending the whole entire time, and I think there has to be some kind of fighter union, something where there's, retired fighters that are the judges, people that know what it takes to have somebody on top of you and not receive any damage. And something has to change, man. I had so many people come up to me, people from Bellator, the staff, media, saying that I won that fight and I got robbed. And something has to happen, man, because these old boxing judges or whatever, they don't know MMA, obviously. And I feel 100% that something has to happen for sure.
Appreciate the insights, man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Brent, thank you very much for the time, and good luck on Saturday, man.
Hell yeah, short and sweet.
Recording stopped.
Joining us next is Karl Albrektsson.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Karl Albrektsson. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions here in the room.
Yeah, Karl, you had a last minute opponent switch. I was just curious what that did to you in training camp, if that affected you at all.
No, you have to be prepared for anything in this sport. You know, anything can happen in a real short notice, and this is not my first rodeo, so shit happens. And now I got a tougher opponent and more dangerous, I think. So, got to be on my toes.
Did you see your opponent's bout in his Bellator debut? Did you happen to see it? Did you watch any film on him?
I've seen it. Yes.
What did you? He was relatively unknown before he came in. So what did you make of his performance?
Well, he's very experienced and he's still dangerous. Maybe it was not his best performance. He shows areas where maybe he's a little bit lacking in technique, but overall, he's still a dangerous fighter and a very strong fighter.
Now, being that you're not in the Grand Prix, are you just kind of sitting back, taking care of what you can control, and seeing how the Grand Prix plays out, or do you hope? Is there a certain fighter you hope comes out of it with the belts? Like, what do you hope comes of the Grand Prix?
Well, I focus on what I can control, and I need to focus on this fight 100%. So, whoever the best man will win the Grand Prix. It's that's simple as that.
Who do you think wins between Nemkov and Anglickas, being that you were supposed to fight Julius Anglickas?
I think Nemkov will win.
You beat Victor Nemkov.
Yes.
Would it mean anything to you to have beaten both Victor and Vadim Nemkov on your record?
I have beaten both.
There you go.
And Karl, have you had a chance to kind of walk around downtown? This is the first Bellator fight in the Phoenix area in quite some time. Seems like the energy's way up here. Have you noticed?
No, we're not allowed to leave the hotel. So I walked around the premises, the city. What I see, it looks nice, but yeah, I'm kind of stuck here in the hotel.
Great. And you've won 3 straight, obviously. You're the number 10 ranked light heavyweight in Bellator's division. Does that mean anything to you? Can you explain exactly what it means to keep climbing those ranks?
Well, it's a good measurement to know where I stand, and I need to work my way the ladder up to get to the title, and I need to secure wins, and I need to finish fights. So that's what I take from the rankings.
Okay, and we'll take a couple questions from our media joining us virtually today. Dylan, go ahead.
Hey there, Karl. I appreciate you making some time.
Thank you.
I'm just curious because when we were speaking prior to this fight here and you were addressing the Victor Nemkov fight, you were saying that your little brother not being able to get there and be in your corner kind of affected the performance in a certain regard. I'm curious, is your brother going to be cornering you for this one, and how do you expect it to inform the performance there?
Yes, he's here at the hotel, and I think it was going to help my performance. I feel very relaxed this fight week, and I feel very secure. So it feels like I have a good vibe going on.
Thanks so much for the insights, man.
Thank you.
All right, Karl, thank you very much for the time, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
We are going to be joined by Corey Anderson momentarily. Please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen if you have a question. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
We are now being joined by Corey Anderson. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from our media. David, your line is now live.
Hi, Corey. First of all, thank you for taking the time to answer my question. You and Ryan have similar records. You're both good finishers. What sets you out different from other opponents that you think can make you beat Ryan?
What sets me different from not just Ryan, but all the opponents in 205 worldwide? It's just the pace. You ask any coach that worked with me, you can ask Ryan's coaches when we went out and worked together. It's just you don't find a 205er that has the pace that I have, that somebody can keep going nonstop. The biggest thing I feel that I bring that most 205ers won't and will not is combos. A lot of 205ers and heavyweights are known for one-punch power. They throw one big shot, and it might land hard, but if it don't finish me, they don't follow up. As for me, I'm a volume puncher. I'm throwing punches in bunches, 3 or 4 at a time. I don't throw one single punch at a time.
Yeah, they're strong. I've seen that. I've watched a lot of your fights. Good luck on Saturday. Good luck, and thanks for answering the question, buddy.
Thank you.
Emiliano?
Yeah, thanks again, Corey, for doing this for us, man. We appreciate that. Just want to ask, you're fighting Ryan. I know you said he's one of the easiest fights in the division, but you're in his home turf. He's an Arizona State native. What's it like? Do you enjoy being the bad guy, the villain in the area?
First of all, I've never said he was one of the easiest fights in the division. I think you quote what DC said and other people. But what I feel like coming here, being a villain in the hometown, I'm just excited. I love it because I've said it a million times before, I just don't feel I'm ever a crowd favorite. I'm never a fan favorite. My style isn't that exciting, but you're going to feel my wrath. Even if I lose, when the fights are over, I've had the guys I've lost to come in and say, bro, I would never want to fight you again. It's just your pace, the combos, what you do is just tough to deal with. And my favorite part is just you coming in and everybody's going to boo me. And when it's all over, said and done, it goes from boos to to everybody's face drop. And at the end, I just got my hand raised. That's the most exciting thing for me. Just looking at the crowd and just everybody got the same long face. And I'm just smiling.
Yeah, well, you had your hand raised a couple times the last 2 bouts. You're 2-0 in the last 2 fights. Ground and pound, everything like that. Is that kind of the game plan going in, or is there other things you're taking away from your training?
I mean, I'm training everything. I'm a complete mixed martial artist. Now, if the opportunity come where I get him down, the ground and pound is coming because that's what I'm good at. That's what I'm great at. I'm great at wrestling. I'm great at ground and pound, but I'm good at everything as a mixed martial artist. So we take what he gives. If his movement shows me he wants to strike, is going to give me an opportunity to strike, I'm going to strike. His movement giving the opportunity to get a takedown, I'm going to get a takedown. If he shoots on me and I counterattack with the re-attack and get him down, there's going to be ground and pound, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is. The point of mixed martial arts is to be a mixed martial artist. If you go out there with one thing, I'm just a striker, I'm going to knock this guy out every time. Well, I know right now I'm just going to go out there and take you down and it's over. But if I go out there and have many different options, it's going to be hard for you to stop it all.
Yeah. Thank you, Corey.
Mills?
Hey, how's it going, Corey Anderson? This is MMA Locker Room, part of Pup Sports Radio. Overtime Anderson, you the man. Let's just go ahead and give you your props right now, man. I'm loving everything you're doing with Bellator. I just want to ask you a question, though. How does your hunting lifestyle transfer over to you fighting in the cage? How does that help you in there?
The hunting lifestyle, a lot of people, they don't understand. A lot of people think I'm just out there in the woods. I'm just hunting out there, killing things. But for me, hunting is actually my therapy. Most people need to see a therapist. Some people like to smoke weed. Some people like to do skydiving, adrenaline, different stuff to keep their mind away from fighting, to make things simpler. And as for me, hunting is That's my zen. You know, it all started after I got knocked out by OSP, and I was just so eager to get back into the gym and learn again. And my coach was like, no, you're not allowed back in the gym until next year. Don't come back until January. Go find something to take your mind off of fighting and training to just make you just forget about what happened and then come back a new person. And I've always hunted, but at the time it was hunting season, so I just went to the woods, I sat in the tree. I didn't see anything that first day, but in that time I was there, it was just like with the fresh air and the animals and everything, I just forgot about what happened Saturday night. And I just went every day. I hunted every day until I can go back into the gym. And I came back to the gym, like Coach said, a new person without any of that trauma that happened that Saturday night when I got knocked out. Not thinking about the last training camp, not thinking about the last training session. My mind was free. So now I've come to a point where going to the woods, hunting, scouting, walking my dog in the woods, taking my son in the woods, whatever it is, that's my zen. I can have a horrible practice and I have my bow in the backseat of my truck. I pull up at home, pop the truck, fling 4 or 5 arrows, and as I'm watching those arrows go, I'm trying to critique myself, and that fast I forgot the thing I did wrong in practice. And that's the whole point of hunting for me. It's not just the harvest, it's not sitting in the woods, it's the fact it clears my mind from everything else that clouds my memory.
Thank you, Overtime. Can't wait to see you this Saturday.
Thank you.
Max, go ahead.
How you doing, Corey? This is Max going from the Going Live podcast. Thanks so much for taking the time. I just have 2 questions for you. First of all, it's your third fight in Bellator, your second in this Grand Prix. Would you just give us your thoughts on the Grand Prix style that Bellator is providing?
I mean, first of all, for me coming as a wrestler, you love a tournament style, period. You know, I tell it to everybody. Man, how do you feel about it? I love it. You know, takes me back to high school, middle school, college. Every weekend we would travel for a tournament. First thing you do, you go in, you make weight. And then you run to the gymnasium or the lunchroom, whatever the brackets was, to see the brackets, to see who you have and who's matched up throughout the tournament. And you go all the way down the bracket. Well, if I beat this guy, I got this guy, so I know who I got to watch. And as for that aspect, also coming from the Ultimate Fighter, where it was another tournament style, there's no questions of what's next. There's no mystery. You don't have to go home after a fight and like, okay, I wonder who they're going to have me fight next. Or I wonder what my next fight is going to be. As for COVID right now, that kind of messed up our time dates, but knowing who your next opponent is and what you need to do to get to the next spot, who you need to beat, what you need to work on, what he's good at, it's like all those questions and mysteries are gone because you don't have to wait to get a contract. You already know who's in line.
That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that honesty. And then real quick, just to wrap it up, you've been obviously very open about the pay difference at the Bellator level and the UFC level. Has the pay increase eliminated that need to go for a fight night bonus and just kind of fight your fight instead?
I mean, I never really had the need to go for a fight night bonus. You know, I always go out. Since I started, I've always said my style is just to go out there and dominate. And if I go out there and dominate and it's exciting enough to get the bonus when I was in the UFC, so do it, or so be it. I got 2 bonuses there. It is what it is. But the pay here, what it makes easy for me is to make me feel it's worth it. Like my father, I told my father the contract we got when I was leaving the UFC and I signed here. He was like, well, now you definitely got the money to go out there and earn it. So make sure you go to the gym and you earn every penny. Every day you go to the gym and you remember, you getting this money, you got to earn it. And just like he said, it made so much sense. Now it's like the work, I have to really, really work. I've always worked hard, but now it's like I can't slack. I can't take a day off. I can't miss this session. I can't skip one live roll. I can't skip one sparring round because this money is worth it. And I'm not going to leave any of this money on the table for my family to eat.
I really appreciate the honesty, Corey. Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, Corey. I appreciate the time here. I was just curious because earlier on in the scrum, you'd kind of made a bit of a comment saying like maybe certain people don't find your style exciting. One person that seems to get quite elated by that is Dooney. And I'm kind of curious. It seems like that's been a relationship for 8 years now there. I saw the video of him cheering on your Instagram about the ground and pound in the last fight. Can you provide some insights into that relationship there? Because it seems cool.
Yeah, Dooney, that's my big brother, man. He's 6 years older than me. Our birthdays are 2 days apart since we were kids. I mean, that's been my ace. Like, he got kids now, but he say other than his kids, I'm his heart. You know, it's been that way since his kids. He left home at 17. He used to come back and pick me up. I was 12 years old, riding around my brother. He going to his friend's crib. You know, they playing cards, whatever they doing. But he had his Dooney with him. I was his boy, his little bro. That was it. Nobody can do anything around me. You don't smoke. You don't drink around my brother. You respect my brother. That's my little Dooney right there. Respect him. And it's been that relationship our whole life. Even now, He just turned 38. I turned 32. We don't talk as much as we used to because we both got families, but we still talk. And when we talk, it's the same relationship. He's coming to this fight. I'm glad he can finally come back because I love to have my Dooney in the crowd. I love having all my family there, but my brother, that's it. That's my heart. When I do this in the cage, that's my brother. He know what that means. That's something we got. That's my Dooney.
Thanks so much for the insights, man. That's awesome.
All right, one or two more here. Ben?
Hey, Corey. So fatherhood's a big theme for you that's developed in rapid ways over the last couple of years. What does it mean to be a dad in mixed martial arts, and how has that impacted your career overall?
Being a father in this sport, I mean, it's a big thing, especially for me. You know, I come from a very family-oriented family. Like, we were never the most happy and happy-go-lucky Christmas-looking family from Disney, but my family was always close. And for me to have my own family now, it's amazing, you know. Kids just change you all around. You hear it all the time. Once your kids are born, you're a new person. You know, me and my wife talked about, we didn't have that emotion when the babies were born. We wanted to cry, but we both could see it in each other's eyes. Like, life is different now. When I got married, that's the first time I realized, like, okay, I got married. Things are different. I'm not thinking about me anymore. I'm thinking about us. Now when I had my first son, it was like, oh, I'm not thinking about us. I'm thinking about all of us. Now I got two kids and it's different. So every move I make has to be a smart move for my family. And that goes as for my career. With the way I fight, I can't go out there and just fight reckless anymore because before it was just me. You know, I didn't care if I get knocked out, I get hurt, whatever. I heal up, come back, do it again. Now I have a family. My wife used to fight, so she knows what goes into this business. She's seen me get knocked out. She don't want to see that anymore. I got kids now. My son is to the age now he knows when daddy comes home with a scratch or ice pack, oh, daddy got a boo-boo. I always told my wife, I don't want my son to see me like that. So with that, when I go into fight camp, now everything I do is strategically smart. It's like they say, risk worth reward. I'm not going to take the risk if it's not going to reward me anything. So when I'm fighting now, when I'm training now, when I'm thinking now, when I'm scouting now, when I'm studying film, everything I do, I got my kids and my family in mind. It's because I want to figure out how can I capitalize on his mistakes? How can I do what I do great to the best of my ability without taking any damage or any injuries, where I can come home to my family every time. And my kids can see me the same way I left home. Daddy comes home the same way on Monday.
All right, last one here. Luis?
Hi, Corey.
How you doing?
I have two quick questions. You're going to face the former Bellator champion in the Grand Prix semifinals. Is this the most important fight in your career?
I mean, the fight in front of me at the moment is always going to be my most important fight in my career. You know, it could be an unranked guy, but that's the most important fight in my career because the next fight isn't promised. I have to focus on what's in front of me now and handle that, and that's going to dictate what's going to happen for the future of Corey Anderson. As for the last time I lost, I was thinking about the future instead of the guy in front of me. And we all seen what happened. I went out there and got knocked out in the first round. Now, if I just focus on what's in front of me, every fight in front of me is the biggest, most important moment, most important fight in my life. Just like this right now. I say it all the time. Me having this interview, this is the biggest, most important moment in my life right now. Because things I say and do, it can impact my future. And you never know. After this, the next moment isn't promised. So I always focus on the present.
Thank you. And knowing you can get the win this Saturday, do you prefer face Vadim or Julius in the finals?
I'd rather face whoever's the winner. Whoever's the winner means that was the best person in that matchup. So I want to face the best guys in this division, best guys in the world. And whoever wins, that's the best one.
All right, Corey, thank you so much for the time. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
Recording stopped.
Next up is Julius Anglickas. If you have a question for Julius, please press the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Julius Anglickas. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from our media. Ben Davis, your line is now live.
Hey, Julius. So you said post-fight in April that if you're happy with your performances, you aren't getting better, and then followed that up by saying you weren't happy with that last performance. In what ways do you feel your game has evolved since that night?
I guess we'll find out this Saturday. When you're not happy, you just make more like a mental note, and sometimes that's all like the improvement you have to do is just mental note. Remember like how you did it before, and just trying not to do that again or just do it better. So it's all about experience. And yeah, like last one, I wasn't like too happy. So I just kind of have to remember that and remember that every time I go to practice. And I think I'm just gonna not stall so much and just go more after. And that's pretty much about, that's it of like how it made me better.
David, go ahead.
Hi, Julius. Thank you for your time. I just have one question. Vadim has a decent record. I think it's 13-2. Do you have? What do you think that you have will be able to neutralize anything that Vadim brings into the octagon against yourself?
I think I think our styles are pretty similar. Like he tries to keep it simple, I try to keep it simple and technical, and I think that's where it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be a battle of who's gonna keep it most basic and most technical, and who's gonna fade out first, and the other person is gonna just capitalize on their mistakes. So I think I'm just looking forward to taking it out in the longer rounds, and just I know he's gonna start fading. Hopefully I'll still be looking fresh, and I'll be attacking on his holes that he's going to start showing.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Thank you very much, Julius. Good luck Saturday, bud.
Thank you.
Max, go ahead.
Thanks so much for taking the time. This is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. Obviously, Julius, you had a late switch. It was the 10th ranked. Now you're facing the current champion. Now it's a 5-round fight. Do these changes affect your approach at all?
Not really. When we first got the call, it was okay. Like they both similar, like sure a little bit different, but the first thing in our minds is just to get in shape. So getting in shape, that idea was it kept the same. We just kept working hard, and it was just small little tweaks here and there that we had to consider that my new opponent does. But besides that, like you can't really think too much about what he does. You still have to impose your will. And that's what we concentrated on. It's about what I'm going to have to do. And at the same time, just few little things to consider that he might do. But we were just focusing on myself.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the time, and good luck on Saturday.
Dylan?
Hey there, Julius. I appreciate you making some time.
Thank you.
I'm just curious because it seems like some good work has been had over at KBC Garage. Can you kind of talk about just the general methodology leading into this fight, and just, I guess, who you'd credit as some of the main sparring partners there?
Yeah, like at the KBC Garage, it's been consistent for past few years. And yeah, Quinn O'Brien is the coach there, and we keep it simple. We always focus on the basics, and we don't try to drift into something completely different. We just make small little tweaks here and there just to keep the whole game the same, but with some little improvements here and there. And like, yeah, my main sparring partners, there's like Drew Gigax. He's a great kickboxer. Like I always have fun rounds with him. Marcel Fortuna, he always comes in. Byron, he's always there. And Daryl Cobb, he always comes in when I need help. Jackson McVay. So we always have like the same group, and they always been there throughout time, and we beat each other up. It's fun. It's like, okay, Julius has a fight coming up. Let's beat him up. But they know they're gonna go through the same thing when they're gonna have a fight coming. So we definitely give each other hell, but at the same time we do it with love, and they happy when they beating me up because they know we're gonna get them ready as well. So it's a good steady group. And I like it. It's not like people disappear and then new people appear, and you just kind of don't have the same flow. It's always the same flow. We know what we able to do, and that also helps keep it safe. So it's a really nice environment to be in.
Yeah, it's cool you have that kind of rapport and trust with the sparring partners for sure. Yeah. But just as a quick follow-up, because you're no stranger to championship distinctions, the LFA light heavyweight champion, couple of years back there, like where would the Bellator light heavyweight championship rank for you in terms of career achievements?
Well, right now it's going to be the number one thing in all the achievements. Like each thing, when you move up each time, the next thing that's higher, it's that's the top thing right now. So I mean, at one point, the LFA belt, that was like the biggest thing. Then fighting for the Contender Series, that was also a big thing. Signing for Bellator, that was like, whoa, now like my career is definitely going somewhere. I found a home. And now just fighting for a title, like now you're trying to be the top dog of that new home. And this is definitely the biggest achievement for me, just to fight for the title. Now, of course, I want to win it as well. So I'm going to go full after it, and definitely want to grab it, because if not, it is what it is. It's still win-win for me, but now I just definitely feel it. Just like I want it, I can taste it, I can just feel that it's so close. So I just got to go and get it.
Luis?
Hi, Julius. You didn't get the contract in the Contender Series, but now after 3 fights, do you have a championship opportunity in a big stage? Do you think it was better in this way?
100%. I think we all have this idea, like, oh, we got to go to UFC, we got to go to UFC. Both places are good. It's just how you play your cards. And Bellator likes me, and I feel like at home here. Every time I come back, I see new people, like same people, same workers. So like we build this relationship with everyone, and I definitely feel lucky that I did not get signed to UFC, or else I would not be here. I probably would be stuck just in I would be just a number in the roster and nothing more. And right now, this is definitely highlighting my abilities, and now I'm on the spotlight. I'm fighting for the title, so I'm definitely much happier that I did not get signed. And people always ask me, Julius, when you're gonna go to UFC? I'm like, I'm not thinking about it. It's, I mean, Bellator, like, they pay really well, and they take care of people really well. I'm sure UFC does the same thing, but I'm happy where I am, and it's making financial stability is the first thing you always have to think about. I mean, that's why we work, that's why we fight, just to be financially stable. And it's good right now. Like, I feel fine, and there is no reason to change anything.
Thank you so much for your time, and good luck.
Thank you.
Last one, Suki.
Hey, Julius, pleasure to be talking to you. Now, I know you were born in Lithuania, but I want to talk to you about your ties with St. Louis and Missouri, because there's only a handful of great fighters that come out of there, but we've seen some really good ones. And so what does that mean to you to represent St. Louis? And, I kind of want to hear some thoughts on that.
It feels awesome. I mean, I kind of got to St. Louis by accident. When I came from Lithuania, I moved to Long Island, New York. And I came to St. Louis just to finish my wrestling career. And that's how I just bumped into the gym. And now, like, I like the people in St. Louis. We have a good flow with the gym. And just me staying there throughout the time, I developed connections, relationships with people. So St. Louis is like becoming my second home now. Like, you definitely want to represent your home. So like, I feel pride in St. Louis just from being there for so long, and my gym being there, having a lot of friends. So it's yeah, it feels like home, and just want to represent your home.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And just a quick follow-up now, are you a superstitious guy? Because, fighters that have good connections to Missouri are fairly successful in Bellator with Mike Chandler. And sorry, there was slipped my mind, but Mike Chandler was a big one for me. But I want to know if like you see yourself in that category and, see a big future in Bellator now.
I definitely see a big future in Bellator. When it comes to superstition, I used to be really superstitious about things. And when I started fighting, I had to take that superstition away. There were like some things where something happens and I'm like, oh no, like this fight is already lost because of this and this. And then a second later, I have to think like, no, absolutely not. I'm throwing the superstition away. I'm in control of this fully. I'm not going to let this thing decide my victory or my loss. So when it comes in wrestling, I did that a lot with superstition, like what kind of ankle brace you got, the red or green, or if that's the colors from what I remember. And so now if there's something superstitious that happens, nope, I throw it away. This thing is not real. and I just fight my fight, and I just take full control of everything and what's going to happen. And I definitely feel I can do big things, and I definitely want to put my name in the list of all the great Missouri fighters.
All right, Julius, thanks very much for the time today, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Next up, we have Lance Gibson Jr. Once again, if you have a question for Lance, please press the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Lance Gibson Jr. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from our media. Suki, your line is now live.
Hey, Lance, pleasure to be speaking with you from here in Canada. I just want to know what it was like, to get over there from here and what it's like to represent the country.
Oh, it's been awesome. So we came from Port Moody. We drove down to Seattle and then flew down from Seattle here. I have family in the States, so I visited my mom and stuff before we got here. And yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to go in there and represent Canada and put Canada on the map again.
Were there any struggles for you during this camp? Did you feel like there was anything majorly different for you with everything going on over the last year or two now?
I think that everything kind of worked its kinks out, and we have a tight-knit group of all our training partners at our gym, and everything went so smooth. I got to spend a lot of time outdoors. I really enjoyed myself. Martial arts is kind of my lifestyle, so training is kind of inevitable. And then amongst that, I got to really enjoy myself and do other things that make me happy as well.
Beautiful. That t-shirt got me fired up. Good luck this weekend, Lance.
Yeah, thank you.
Emiliano?
Yeah, thanks, Lance, for doing this. I just wanted to ask, so, a big fight in Phoenix. Have you had a chance to explore the city at all? I know you guys have COVID restrictions, and what did you make of the fight community here?
You know what? I actually went to school down here before. So I went to Arizona State University, and my campus was like a block away from where we're staying right now at the hotel. So it was actually really common for me to be passing Footprint Center every week. So whenever I'd come down to my classes downtown, I'd just pass Footprint Center. And I always look at it like, I never knew exactly what was going to happen, but it's crazy how things go full circle, and I'm back here in Arizona, but I'm fighting on a big stage for Bellator. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you're 4-0 in your own right, and you're fighting a local guy from Tucson, Raymond. Do you think you're gonna have more fan reaction positive to you, or more so to Raymond?
To me, like it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I know what I have to do, and that's to go in and be the best martial artist that I can be, and that can beat anybody. So I think everybody, it doesn't matter whether they're his fans or whether my fans, they'll be impressed by my skills in there.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Ben?
Hey, Lance, thank you so much for your time. Actually, an ASU teacher here, so go Devils. Biggest test of your career, the biggest test of your career was earlier at 257. How do you feel you've improved after that fight?
Oh, that was a lot of experience that I gained in that fight. I went through some trials and tribulations in there, but it's all good. And through that, I've expanded my skills in every area. So like I said, right after that fight, I said I was going to go back to the drawing board and improve immediately. So that's what we did. We went back to work, and Marcus was a tough fighter. And I just went back to work and did what I've always done since I was a young kid, which was grind and train. So I'm a lot better than I was before.
Thank you, man. Good luck this Saturday.
Thanks.
Luis? All right. Luis, are you there? All right, we'll let him go. All right, thanks so much for the time, Lance. Good luck on Saturday.
No problem. Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Next up is Benson and Maria Henderson.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Benson and Maria Henderson. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from the media in the room. Emiliano, your line is now live.
Hey, Benson. Hey, Maria. Thanks for joining us. I know you guys are local MMA lab, obviously. This is your guys' first fight camp together as a couple. What's that been like for you two?
Pretty much the same, just a little bit more extra training, a little bit harder training, and then a little less of us being one person being specifically tired with the kids and one being tired from training. Now we're both tired from the kids and training.
Well, Benson, on you had 4 fights last year on a four fight losing streak. What's really changed for you in the last year of competitive fighting?
How long losing streak?
4 fight, I believe. Was it 2? I thought it was 4. I apologize.
No, it's all good. How many is it?
Is it 2? I apologize. Sorry about that, guys.
You don't need to apologize. I don't know. I'm an idiot, so I get punched in the head for a living, so I am very forgetful on things.
I think it was about a 4-fight winning streak, and then it was on a 2-fight losing streak.
Correct. Yeah. My misinformation. I'm sorry. Anyways, what's really changed for you? What's changed for you over the last year, man?
Another baby. We have our 4th baby. She's 14 months old. So everything's same old. Not much change with me. Fight, train, get in the gym, practice, try and get better, 1% better every single day, try and improve, and try and be a good father, a good husband, try and be there for my kids, try and be a good coach, try and be a good training partner, try and be the best you can be at whatever it is you do. If you're a reporter, try and be the best reporter you can be, trying to have all the facts straight, trying to have all the questions centered. If you're a PR guy, have the PR stuff down pat. Whatever it is you do, try and be the best you can be at it. And for me, that's being a fighter, coach, teammate, training partner, trying to be a good husband, take care of my husbandly duties, all that sort of stuff,
Yeah. And then lastly, in terms of, fighting, locally, what's that like for you guys? How different is it for you to fight, in Arizona?
I told Mike Kogan from Bellator, I told him, hey, it's awesome. We love fighting in Arizona. It's awesome. It's great. We're glad to be able to fight here, yada, yada, yada. Let's not ever have me fight here in Arizona again. I had to buy like freaking 50 tickets. So I had to take care of all the friends and family, all the ticket requests and take care of that. But I'm super happy, super thrilled that so many of our friends and family and fans here locally are going to be able to check us out and watch us and come out, support and cheer us on. So I'm really thankful for it. And
a little sad about it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a great night. So I'm really excited to celebrate afterward with our family and our friends.
Yeah, and then in terms of you, Maria, getting your first win amateur, what are you really taking away from that first win into this next fight?
I think what I took away mostly from that first one was that my girl was a really good, way better striker than we were imagining of a first amateur fight. And I think I performed really well beating her at her game. So I think that was my biggest takeaway is like, oh, I can strike with her. We have a really good female striker at our gym who's the same size as me. She's a great boxer, and she gives me some really tough rounds. So that gave me a lot of confidence going into that one, and it just gives me more and more confidence from the first fight to the next one and stuff.
Yeah, and then in terms of, Arizona has certain, amateur requirements for fights. Are you looking to go pro after a certain amount of time or stay in the amateur for a little bit?
Say that first part again?
Yeah, Arizona has certain, amateur requirements, certain amount of fights you got to do amateur-wise, and you go on to professional debut. Are you looking to stay amateur for a little while and then go pro, or?
Honestly, I had no idea they had a requirement. Whatever Ben and our coach say, it depends how I look during this fight and how I'm growing will depend on when I go pro. No matter what, the goal is the same. So whether it already took me a long time to kind of start fighting, so whatever they say, I'm just there for the process and trying to get better. So either way, I'm fighting. It's either a 3-minute round or it's a 5-minute round. So whatever they say.
Max, go ahead.
How you guys doing? This is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. Thanks so much for taking the time. Obviously, the coolest storyline here is both of y'all fighting on the same card and fighting in Arizona. But with the news of the vacant title match being set, Benson, I would love to hear your thoughts on not getting the shot. And even though you are ranked higher and your first fight with Pitbull was very close.
No comment.
Fair enough. Thank you so much.
If you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing.
I totally understand that one.
My
Thank
kids
you.
say every single day. You don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing.
Thanks so much and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, man.
David, go ahead. David?
Sorry. Hello, Benson. This is David from Arizona PBS Cronkite News. I was just wondering, you are a local MMA lab, as Emilio had said previously. How has like your instruction duties caused or helped you train in the past few months for this fight, or even the past year during the pandemic for your previous fights as well?
I think no matter what you do, if you're smart about it, it can help you or it can hurt you if you're not smart about it. So for me, I try to have coaching help me improve my game as well. It makes me look at the details of the move, look at it from the ins and outs, teaching a move to a beginner, to somebody very first day of jiu-jitsu, teaching them how to do this. Their very first day of wrestling, teaching them how to hit the double leg or how to do an arm bar. It makes you look at it differently on how to teach it, which can help you as an athlete, as a athlete performing. It can help me break it down and learn how, I need to move my leg here into the armpit more. I need to grab lower on the wrist, or yada yada yada. So I try to always have it help me be a better athlete, a better performer while I'm competing, a better competitor coaching at my gym, the MMA lab. And then on the other side of that, helping my teammates. I think the same idea, helping my teammates. Same idea, looking for their weaknesses, beating them up a little bit. It helps them get better, which in turn helps me get better. So I beat them up, I show them love, and they beat me up in return. And they look at my holes, and they through years and years of practicing, they know my tendencies and what I tend to do, which way I tend to lean when we want to do this, or I lean this way and I do that. And they help me get better, and I help them get better, and we beat each other up, and we have fun doing it.
And then does that go hand in hand with having a wife? And this goes for you as well, Maria, you having a husband, both of you being fighters, being able to train together, and, just having kind of a fighting lifestyle as well as a lifestyle outside of the gym?
As far as growing as a fighter?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it does. Obviously, I have a great person to learn from. I can't really imagine someone better to learn from than my husband. So I take a lot of what he does and what he says to heart, and I try to listen to him, even though he says I don't. I do. But honestly, if MMA is not really a large part of our relationship or our home life. We don't really have our kids doing a ton of jiu-jitsu classes. If they want to do it, they can do it, but we keep MMA and our personal life pretty separate. We'll talk about it, of course, with the fight and stuff. We talk about it more. I have a ton of questions, but it doesn't really interfere with our marriage as much. In the gym it will. I'll always go to him, or he'll watch me from across the room, and he'll, hey, I want you doing it this way. I know they said this way, but I want you doing it this way. You're better at this. So it obviously helps to have someone with a little bit more of a a little bit more of a personal interest, personal growth for you to help you out.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's not the word I was looking for. Investment.
David, go ahead.
Personal investment.
Hey guys, first of all, thanks very much for taking the time to answer my questions. First of all, for yourself, Benson, is there anything you've changed since you've been out training wise for this fight?
No, didn't really change anything. I think for me, it's more about consistency. So it has been for 15 years now, for a long time. It's about consistent work. Same coaches, pretty much same training partners. One of my training partners, David Machad, started holding mitts. Can't fight anymore, has a bad ticker. So now he's a mitt holder, so I've been hitting mitts with him a lot more. But just consistent work, trying to get better, trying to improve those. We all have holes in our game. Try to make those holes as small as possible, smaller, and trying to work on the areas you need to work on and improve those areas. Oh, I'm not really good at this. I'm not really good at throwing knees, so I'm just not going to throw knees. Or you can work on it every single day and get better at throwing knees. So that kind of stuff. So I haven't really changed anything. Just consistent work, getting better at all the little things.
Class, my friend. Glad to hear it. And for yourself, Maria, I watched your open workout earlier. I wouldn't even take 10 G's myself for a punch in the jaw from yourself. So I hope she's got a granite chin.
Did he ask what was it?
No, I hope she has a granite chin.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, well, no, I don't hope so.
No,
I love
but
your
I did.
accent.
Thank you, no problem. So sorry, it's a bit broken. Scottish. We speak the way we speak. But good luck to you both on Saturday. You're both looking great. You're both looking great. Well, good luck Saturday, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. My wife and I love doing accents at home. One of these days, we'll have the gumption to do our accents on TV or something.
I'll put them out. I'd love to hear them.
My wife always says I start out with like a Scottish accent or English accent, and end up turning Jamaican somehow.
Every single time. Somehow it's like he'll try Russian, and then it goes from like Russian to Scottish, all the way into Jamaican somehow. My sister does the same thing. I'm the better.
That's class to hear. Glad to hear it. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
That was funny as hell.
Suki, go ahead.
Hey, Benson, Maria, pleasure to be talking to you. Now, this question is actually for Maria. I feel like you have one of the most unique experiences in the MMA community to, be the support system, to be that person for a guy like Benson that we've seen accomplish so much. And now you're just jumping in there yourself. Like, what's that like? I feel like there's a documentary in the making there.
It's good. Like we knew that once I started, it would not be a slower process. That once I got into doing it, even though that took a little bit longer than we were planning, our babies kept surprising us. But we knew once I started doing it, it would be I'm doing it for real. It's not like okay, I'm gonna take an amateur fight here, or I'm gonna train for 6 months and maybe think about doing one in 6 more months. We knew it was gonna be a pretty fast pace, especially with my husband, but I don't think I've been, like you said, as a support system. I've seen the biggest of the biggest stages with my husband, so it's going good. And I think I won't be surprised by like bright lights or anything like that, like some other people would when they first get there, just because I've just been on the other side of the cameras watching my husband doing it for so many years.
It's probably more anxious watching someone in there versus actually being in there yourself. Yeah. So best of luck. I'm really excited to watch you work.
Thank you.
And last one here, Mills.
Hey, how's it going, Benson? This is MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. Seems like it was just 2014. I see you get that win over Jim Miller. Been following your career for a long time now, man. I just wanted to say, though, it seems like you and Lorenz Larkin was kind of the big first-name free agents to come over and transfer over to Bellator. And it seems like you guys kind of paved the way on that, opened up the door for everybody. How do you feel that you inspired other athletes to actually look at organizations instead of just staying in the UFC and taking what they get?
Well, I think myself, Lorenz, Phil Davis, he was one of the early guys too. We just were like smart with our being smarter with what you choose and being conscious, being aware of which direction you want to go, who you're open to listening. Like, it doesn't hurt to listen to an offer, it doesn't hurt to hear what someone can bring to the table, and not being so distracted with like, oh, we want to fight for this organization. It's like having Nike shoes. You can have the Nike shoes, or you can have, just as good as shoes, but pay half the price, or like
even better shoes.
Even better shoes.
Just no symbol.
Yeah, just not the Adidas, or you want Nike. Oh, I'm an Adidas guy. I'm a Nike guy. Or oh, I'm a, who's the other one? Adidas, Nike, whatever, Reebok. So I think for Phil, for myself, we say, hey, you guys might all like Nike, but we're gonna go rock Adidas. We're Team Adidas, or whatever the case may be. And then once people see it's a viable option, Bellator takes care of their fighters. They pay really well. They got that Paramount Viacom money behind them, so they pay very well. They take care of the fighters. They care about the fighters. Kind of similar to the respective fighters. Kind of similar to the UFC back in the day, how they was more of a, you knew everybody. It wasn't such a giant, huge corporation, but Bellator was a small, tight-knit company. So in that aspect, I think we just kind of opened the doors and showed other fighters that it's viable. You can do it and have a good career, still be best in the world, still make good money, still all that stuff. Everything that's entailed is just really just another promotion. That's what they do. That's their job.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much for the time, Benson and Maria, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We stay here.
Recording stopped.
Next up is Ryan Bader. Again, just a reminder, if you have a question for Ryan, please press the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Ryan Bader. Begin with a few questions from our media. Emiliano, your line is now live.
Hey Ryan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. You?
Doing well as well. It's you're back home in Arizona, went to ASU, you fight out of Gilbert and everything like that. What's it like fighting in front of the home fans?
Yeah, it's routine. I've always wanted to fight in Phoenix on a big show, and never happened. I fought Indian reservations a couple times in Arizona, 3 hours away, but never had the opportunity to fight in Phoenix. My friends and family will be there. There'll be tons of them. But on the flip side of that, everything is routine. I've been in the hotel. I'm doing everything I normally do on a fight week, and so nothing's really changed. I'll just have more fans there, and it'll be that much sweeter after a win.
Yeah. And talk about the MMA community in Arizona. It's a rising community. How big do you see it becoming, and how big is it right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been big, and we just haven't got a lot of big fights out here. There's been maybe a handful of them, and so we got a bunch of great gyms, a bunch of great fighters coming out of Arizona. So I would hope that bigger shows, Bellator, and all that keep coming back.
Yeah, and then in terms of, you're the heavyweight champion right now, but you have a chance to also be the light heavyweight champion at the same time. What would it mean to you to be a two-time champion?
Can you say the last part again?
What would it mean to you to hold two titles at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before, so and that was it was an amazing experience. I got asked to do the heavyweight Grand Prix. I was a light heavyweight champion at the time, and I went up and captured that belt, against Fedor. It was amazing, pinnacle of my career. Looking back, that's going to be one moment that kind of stands out. And I never thought I'd be able to, top that. And then this light heavyweight tournament came around, and I have an opportunity to do something that nobody's really done at all. I was the first double champ. People have done that since then, and now I have the opportunity to become double champion again, but also winning two different Grand Prix at two different weight classes. So That's something that not a lot of people, an opportunity not a lot of people get to do. And so I'm just fortunate to be here. I thought I was going to be fighting a heavyweight for the rest of the time. This is my last loss at light heavyweight. And here we are back at light heavyweight.
David, go ahead.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing today?
Doing well. You?
That's good. I'm doing well. So I saw on your Instagram that you received your black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu last month after like 15 years of training. Was this last year of training for this accomplishment more difficult than others, considering it was like in the midst of a pandemic?
No, I mean, we're here in Arizona and we have a closed private gym. We're not open to the public, and so, when it was really bad and, when we were able to kind of get out again, which Arizona was kind of open and open more than other states. We had a closed system where, we had maybe 3 guys that I trained with and, we COVID tested them, all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't too bad. Obviously the amount of people fell off drastically that you could train with. But, got to get it in. We did. And didn't miss a beat really.
And then they already touched on it in live in person, but is there like more pressure or higher expectations for yourself heading into this fight because you're an Arizona native or Arizona resident?
Yes and no, but I mean, as far as pressure, there's a lot of pressure every fight, and that pressure is, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I want to perform the best I can. You don't want to go out there and I mean, you don't want to go out there and lose really in front of a hometown crowd, but it is what it is. I've been all over the world. I've had a lot of friends and family, say at the Fedor fight in LA, there's, hundreds and hundreds of my friends and family out there. So it's kind of the same deal. You want to represent Arizona. You want to go out there in front of the home crowd and put on a good show, but all that stuff's out of my mind. I don't really think about that. I go out there, I'm in great shape. I feel great. I go out there and perform like I know I can. That's all it is, and I usually go out there and get the win, so I'm going to go out there, do my job and hope the fans like it. And obviously I want to get that win, but no added pressure.
Dylan Bowker.
Hey there, Ryan. I appreciate you making some time.
Yes, sir.
You were just kind of talking about it a bit before, just winning the heavyweight Grand Prix. And it seems like this Grand Prix has almost even compounded importance. I'm kind of curious, is that because of maybe some of the, I guess, redemptive components that have already popped up, like getting to, avenge that prior Machida defeat? I mean, you could potentially, fight Nemkov in the finals should you both get the desired outcomes. Like, what about this Grand Prix path has, I guess, particular importance to you?
Yeah, redemption is a big part of it for sure. After my last loss at light heavyweight, I pretty much thinking that I was just going to be a heavyweight, defend that title and carry on in that weight class. And then I got asked to come down to this Grand Prix, light heavyweight Grand Prix. And I'm all about opportunities. And then I heard about the guys that are going to be in there. It's a bunch of guys that I want and need to get redemption against, and so I said, what the hell, let's do it, and so got that against Machida. It was good to see how far I've grown since that loss to him. And it's a fun tournament. And if you look at this tournament too, I mean, arguably 3 of us in there are the best light heavyweights in the world, and so you could say, the heavyweight tournament, there's some, older guys or maybe out of their prime or whatnot, but this tournament right here, this Grand Prix, are 3 guys, best light heavyweights in the world, and in their extreme prime.
Yeah, it's a stellar tournament field for sure, but something that I wanted to kind of follow up with here, because I saw on the Instagram your 6-year-old was bringing that fire with the ground and pound. When can we expect a second generation MMA competitor in the Bader family? Is he looking to go down that path?
Yeah, his name is Rocket too. He's a little firecracker. He's my youngest one, and he's built like a tank. And it's funny, the kids are all different. My older one likes to play football. My younger one is mean. He's got a drive, and he likes to fight. And he's fighting his older brother all the time and whooping up on him. So I'm not one of those ones that are. I kind of came up in a athletic childhood where I was always wrestling. I was always doing that, and I don't want to push that on my kids. I want them to see that exposure and pick what they like. But he does like jiu-jitsu. He likes punching. He likes kicking and all that. So I can see him kind of coming into his own and definitely being good at mixed martial arts. Don't know if he's going to fight or not. I'll let him decide that.
David?
Hi, Ryan. First of all, thanks for your time, man, from
No
MMA
problem.
Radio. I mean, what drives you on more? Is it redemption against Nemkov or being the 2-weight world champion or both?
Yeah, I mean both. And honestly, just going out there and winning that fight in front of me. That's all, throughout my whole career. That's what it's been about. You know, I do have long-term goals, and that's one of them: getting the light heavyweight belt back and redemption, all that. But you know, in this sport, you kind of have to take that thing right in front of you, and that's a fight with Corey. You know, and the last fight with Machida. You know, and so I kind of compartmentalize that and take it kind of one fight at a time. And so for me, my drive is to go win that fight right now in front of me. Everything will take care of itself.
You have a fantastic record anyway as it stands. So good luck Saturday, Ryan. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Todd, go ahead.
Hey, Ryan, Todd here with Fight.News. Appreciate you coming out. I know this is every fighter's favorite time to sit down and talk to a bunch of people they can't see.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Hey, you mentioned twice in this interview already about staying at heavyweight, and you're not a spring chicken anymore. You are at your full-grown man body now.
Yeah.
How's this weight cut coming back to 205? How are you feeling on this? Is it?
Yeah, it's awesome right now. When I first cut back to 205, it was absolutely terrible. You know, and you know, we're in the middle of the pandemic, and I thought I was fighting heavyweight. You know, 4 weeks I got the call, hey, it's light heavyweight, and so that weight cut was not good at all. But now, I mean, this is perfect. I'm actually probably the easier weight cut I've had since, you know, I mean, 10 years ago. You know, so I woke up at 212 this morning, and I'm not cutting it all yet. So, I mean, that's easy money right there. And I feel great too. Whereas before, you know, before the Nemkov fight, I was sitting at like 224, kind of freaking out, you know. So I feel good now. I feel ready to rock.
Hey, one last question here. I noticed there is a little bit of a light heavyweight hunting theme now where I'm at. Deer season doesn't start, rifle season doesn't start until November. What are you going to be hunting after you're done hunting your opponent here on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, the timing worked out perfect. You know, boys here at Go Hunt, they've been a supporter of mine for a while. But I got elk, I got, you know, archery elk. I got a Nevada mule deer. I got a Coues deer in Arizona. 2 Coues deers, actually, Coues deer. And that'll be my November. So my November is pretty packed.
All right, Ryan, thanks for the time and good luck on Saturday.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
All right, we are now being joined by Vadim Nemkov. We'll begin with a few questions from our media. David, your line is now live.
Hi, Vadim. Thanks very much, first of all. It's David Irvin from MMA Radio. Being the current champion and having just spoken with Ryan Bader, he seems to think you've got someone that belongs to him. You can't obviously overlook your opponent in front of you. That would be very dangerous. But, do you have an eye on Bader maybe in the next fight? In the final, sorry?
Вадим, конечно, нельзя смотреть вперед, но думаешь ли ты, что ты после этого боя смотреть на Райана Бейдера в финале?
У меня такие мысли посещают, то, что я могу встретиться с Райаном Бейдером. Мне это не пугает. Я готов ко второму бою с Бейдером. И я думаю, что я выиграю второй раз тоже.
Yeah, I have some thoughts about having a fight with Ryan Bader in the final. It's not scaring me. I've beat him before, and I'm going to do it the second time.
Yeah, you look in great shape. Good luck Saturday. Thanks very much for your time, Vadim.
Ты выглядишь в очень хорошей форме. Спасибо большое.
Я в хорошей форме или ты, Миш?
Ну, он сказал тебе.
Luis, go ahead.
Привет, Вадим. Как дела? Меня зовут Luis, but my question is in English. You're gonna fight Julius, who takes the fight as backup of this Grand Prix. How much your fight plan has been changed?
Вадим, ты поменял что-нибудь в своих планах подготовки к бою с Джулиусом, потому что у тебя должен был быть другой противник. Но ты поменял что-нибудь в своем плане?
Особо я ничего не менял. Я, в принципе, со всеми дерусь в своем стиле. И я думаю, вы это видите, что я много двигаюсь, быстро бью, сильно бью. В принципе, сейчас я буду делать то же самое.
Yeah, I didn't really change anything in my planning. I move fast, I hit hard, and you guys can see I have my own personal style that I try to hold with. So I didn't really change anything with planning with this fight.
And knowing you want to be champion in this Grand Prix, after this Grand Prix, do you want to have the rematch versus Albert, who is your last loss and now is fighting in Bellator?
Ты бы хотел сдраться с Альбертом, который у тебя был бой с ним? Ты бы хотел встретиться с ним?
Albreckson. Если звезды все сойдутся и нам предложат бой Bellator, то я не буду отказываться, я приму бой. Я приму бой, если Bellator предложит.
Yeah, if the stars align, we will definitely make that fight happen. If Bellator asks me for it, I will definitely say yes to that fight.
И так как он проиграл Филу Дэвису, я не могу с ним подраться, допустим, в ближайшее время я не мог с ним подраться, потому что он проиграл Филу Дэвису, он выиграл только моего брата. И когда он наберет достаточное количество побед, я думаю, все может быть.
Yeah, and I can't fight him anytime soon because he lost to Phil Davis and he hasn't really won that many fights. He just beat my brother, but once he starts racking up wins, I can definitely see it happening, but not anytime soon.
За чемпионский пояс надо, как говорится, заслужить, чтобы подраться за чемпионский бой, за титул, заслужить этого, а не выходить на какие-то личные мотивы, как сказать.
Yeah, to fight for the champion title, you have to deserve it and not be coming off some motivation. So you have to deserve your title shot.
Dylan Bowker, go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call. I'm just curious because the return of Fedor Emelianenko is looming there. I'm kind of wondering, if the vibe's been different at all in training camp with Team Fedor. Obviously he's been there in a coaching capacity, but has there been even additional compounded motivation with his competitive return?
Возвращение Федора будет 23 октября. Они спрашивают, поменялось ли что-нибудь в кампах, подготовка к боям? Добавляет ли это больше мотивации к твоему бою и вообще ко всем боям вот за эти 2 недели, и что поменялось ли что-нибудь в подготовку?
Мы прошли к своим боям очень хорошую подготовку, хорошие тренировочные лагеря, было много спарринг-партнеров. Я думаю, все будет хорошо у всей команды нашей, потому что я дерусь на этих выходных, на следующих выходных еще 5 человек дерется. Я думаю, мы все одержим победу.
We had a full great fighting camps. We have 5 guys fighting next weekend in Russia. We were all ready. We had great sparring partners, and I think we all gonna win on all our cards.
And just as a quick follow-up, because I've talked to certain fighters who've held lineal divisional titles, but when they win a Grand Prix, they've said that almost has additional kind of importance. If Vadim gets the desired outcome and wins the next couple fights, could he see that Grand Prix title having more value than the divisional title he presently has?
Люди, которые выигрывают Гран-при с чемпионством, у них они относятся к этому чемпионству более важно. Это важнее для них. Для тебя это будет важнее, когда ты одержишь победу в Гран-при?
Как бы на протяжении всего Гран-при я защищаю свой титул чемпиона, и для меня в первую очередь главное выиграть каждый бой, и для меня будет большой наградой, значимая победа для меня в моей карьере, победа в таком Гран-при, потому что собраны серьезные бойцы, очень именитые, и это Гран-при высокого уровня.
Yeah, I'll defend with every fight I defend my title. It would be very important to win this Grand Prix for me, and there's a lot of high quality fighters in this Grand Prix, so meaning this Grand Prix with staying the champion would mean a lot to me.
All right, we'll take 1 or 2 more here. Suki?
Hey, Vadim, pleasure to be talking to you. How motivating was it to see your friend Valentin Moldavsky get that interim championship? And is there any added, aspects to your training camp with him taking on Bader once this is all said and done for both of you to kind of work off each other here?
Как ты относишься к тому, что Валентин Молдавский одержал временное чемпионство, и то, что когда Райан Бейдер вернется в тяжеловесие, ему придется драться с ним, и у тебя есть шанс на полутяжелом весе подраться с Бейдером тоже в финале. Как это относится к подготовке к обоим?
Я рад, что Валентин Молдавский стал чемпионом в супертяжелом весе. Я думаю, что когда Бейдер вернется обратно в тяжелый вес, то Валентин его выиграет. А мне, пока это переведи.
Yeah, I'm very happy Valentin Moldavsky got the title, the interim title, and I think when Bader comes back to heavyweight, he will beat him.
А мне с Бейдером, если предоставится шанс еще раз драться, то буду драться, и я думаю, выиграю его. В принципе, все по силам.
Yeah, and if I get a chance to fight Bader for the second time, I will beat him as well.
Last one here, Todd.
Hey, Vadim. Hello, this is Todd with Fight.News. Appreciate speaking with you, champ. Quick question here. Where do you and your coaches feel that your opponent, Julius, is the most dangerous? Where do you feel in this fight that you have to really be on your toes, where your opponent could possibly represent the most trouble for you? Thank you.
Где ты думаешь, и твои тренера думают, где самая сильная часть у твоего соперника, Julius Anglickas?
Я думаю, что его сильная сторона – это борьба, и физическая мощь, и то, что он функционально может дышать, по крайней мере, 3 раунда, то, что я видел. Но сейчас ему драться 5 раундов, и будет совсем другой бой, другой оппонент, другая позиция.
Yeah, I think his strong side is wrestling, his physical ability, and his breathing as well for the 3 rounds. But this time we're fighting 5 rounds, so it's a different opponent, and I think he will have trouble.
All right. Thank you very much for the time, Vadim, and thank you as well, Mikhail. Good luck on Saturday.
Finish.
Recording stopped.
That concludes today's pre-fight media availability. We look forward to all of you joining us again on Saturday night for the post-fight availability.